and multiple callers were calling in that shots had been heard. Probably, some were reporting 15 shots, 10 shots, some were 20, so it was pretty significant. Deputies arrived on scene shortly after and did locate one male with multiple gunshot wounds. The scene was very chaotic. There was bystanders, family members all over the place. Deputies attempted to administer life-saving measures with fire, and unfortunately, a 32-year-old male was claimed deceased.
Did he live at the apartment complex? Do we know that?
We don't know that right now. When deputies arrived, this scene was incredibly chaotic, and just to give you an idea, 108th Street South was littered with shell casings. There's shell casings all over the front lawn area of the apartment complex. When deputies arrived, people were running around and screaming. So we have a lot to process through today.
Is there any idea of who the shooter is?
We don't know who the shooter is yet, and we do have an outstanding suspect at this time, and that is going to be our priority and our biggest concern right now.
Okay, and one outstanding.
What we know, it could be more as well as we go into this investigation. By the looks of it, I mean there's a lot of shell casings out there. Lot of surveillance cameras that we're going to have to be filtering through. We have a lot of people that are coming forward with information. There's just a lot to kind of filter through right now.
Is the impression that there were other people that were out there when the shooting took place? I know you mentioned a lot of chaos after the fact.
Sounds like the chaos was after the fact, but there are enough people that some are being cooperative, some are not being cooperative, and so it's a big scene to process right now.
Is this an area that you guys find you're in a lot? There's certainly many apartments and multiple complexes just on the street.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very dense, populated neighborhood area and apartment complexes. You have a lot of people in a very small space. It's not uncommon for crime to be in these parts of the area. However, we haven't had anything recent in this particular area.
Is it clear if there were multiple people that fired a weapon while this was going on?
That is not clear, but we will be investigating everything.
So unclear if the victim had a weapon of any kind?
Yeah, that is unclear. Right now, we have detectives and forensics showing up to the scene. They have just begun to process the scene. I was informed they're not going to start moving things around and processing until we get a little more daylight, just because it's really challenging at night to find every single shell casing and piece everything together. And we're going to be here for several hours because, I mean, just to give you an idea, I mean, there are probably over 20 shell casings just scattered all over the place.
This is, of course, very close to homes, too. Is everyone else outside of the...
Yeah, and another aspect of it, too, when deputies arrived, not only were they trying to provide life-saving measures to this male victim, we have the apartment complex that is right there, so they had to conduct welfare checks on every single apartment complex to confirm we didn't have victims elsewhere. But from a preliminary investigation, the building does not look like it has been hit. We haven't been notified that the building or any windows have been hit yet. But again, this is all preliminary, and we still have a lot to look at.
It would be unusual for one weapon to give out that many shell casings. Is that fair to say, or too early to know?
It's pretty early to know. I mean, in some of our recent investigations, unfortunately, we find a lot of people carrying around extended magazines and on illegal weapons, and it's concerning for sure.
Since you said there is an outstanding person of interest or suspect, how did they get away from the scene?
That is unknown, and that's all kind of part of that investigation right now. We're just in the preliminary stages of interviews, but yeah, the unsettling aspect of this is we do have a suspect that is outstanding.
Anything else you wanted to tell us?
We just encourage people to stay out of the area. This road will be closed for several hours. This is going to be a big scene to process and a lot to go through. So we just ask people to stay out of the area. And if anybody has any information and like actual real good information, we do encourage them to call us and provide that.
I'm guessing you wouldn't have the exact number at this point since you're still processing it, but it's fair to say dozens of shell casings.
Oh, yeah, you'd be totally fine to say dozens. Yeah, I mean, I can see probably about 20 evidence markers out there, but again, we're kind of waiting for daylight we could find a lot more.